I think a lot of people are listening to this, and it's really eye-opening for them. I know I've talked to a handful of folks that view my videos, and they're looking to work in the industry. They're really excited about the industry. They're probably hearing this, and they are thinking differently now. They might not want to go into the industry anymore. Now, you've been working in a commercial facility for 8 years now. Are you done with it for good, or are you still dabbling in the industry a little bit?
I'm torn with it actually. Like I said, I had a little spotty experiences over like maybe the last year or two with the fluctuations in the industry because we did have this big boom. It was like a reboom for COVID. It was like another skyrocket in sales. And so people again wanted to jump in. They wanted to buy any open facility. They wanted to get any available license. Everybody wanted to partner up with people that had a license. And then after that started going down, a lot of people weren't ready for that yet. And so a lot of business has been suffering. And so I have been working in the industry less than I ever have over like the past probably 8 months to a year. And I'm not sure if I'll be going back to that full time. But the only reason I say that is because that I think I would rather put all of my time and energy into my YouTube channel. If it wasn't for this like thing that I'm so passionate about on this YouTube channel, like everyone has to have a job. And I absolutely enjoy this industry way more than any other job I've ever had to work. I don't look at it like when I go to the garden, like, of course, some days you're like, oh man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get up because you're having a tired morning. But there isn't one day that I'm in the garden and I don't like take a second to be like, this is sick. Like, this is a privilege to work here. And I'm lucky to do this. A lot of people are grinding out something they absolutely hate to do, and they would trade me anything to be where I'm at. And even with the shortcomings and the downsides, like, I like being in it because even if I'm just one person with one voice, my influence, at least where I'm at, can make a difference. And if I can make a difference, at least where I'm at, with at least the plants I'm growing, that's going to touch a lot of people. That's going to help a lot of people get better medicine. My work ethic and my respect for the end product and the end customer might rub off on some of my coworkers. I might start a chain reaction. They say the changing the world starts with one person or whatever the saying is. I would rather be in it and do what I can to make it better every day than just throw my hands up and be like this. Oh, I don't like this. There's some shady actors in this space, so I just don't want to have a part of it. There's going to be shady actors in pretty much any space that is tied to money, which is pretty much anywhere you're ever going to work. But there are a lot of people that are in it for all of the right reasons. And if all of us that are in it for the right reasons, we stick it out until this isn't just a gleam in the pan, get rich thing to everyone no more, then I feel like the industry will sort of self-regulate. The people that were in it for the wrong reasons, they're not going to keep sticking around if they're not making all those millions they got into it for. If it's only a thing that, if the whole country starts to grow their own for the most part, and the only other people that are left are those really nice craft growers. I don't know. I guess I'm dreaming big, but I feel like I would rather be in this and do what I can.
I totally agree with you on that one. I got 2 minutes to talk during these episodes. I got a minute.
That's it. Easy. Let Chris speak. Hashtag right now's your time. And go.
What I was going to say, man, totally agree with you on that one. You have, when you talk about impact, you have such a large impact. Millions of people watch your videos. I looked at your channel, 27 million views on your videos as of right now. So you reach much further of an audience. I did want to ask you one more thing in relation to this before we move on to a different topic.
Yeah.
There are, like I mentioned, there are a ton of folks that hit me up all the time and they're tuning into this. They want to get into the industry. What advice do you have for them? Are there like particular red flags that they should be looking out for when they're applying for jobs or when they're going through the interview? Is there something that advice you would give to them that, hey, maybe they need to steer away from this particular company?
Good question.
That is a good question. A lot of people, I feel like, will sort of overthink their interview and think of it like it's a whole completely different new thing because it's not like it. They feel like it's so unlike any other job they've ever had that the interview has to be like so different also. And so a lot of people I find that hit me up with these same questions are sort of worrying for unneeded reasons. So a lot of the same things that apply for any job interview are going to apply for this interview too. One thing that I did on my first interview in this industry is I completely overdressed. I went in with a button-up shirt, I had on a tie, slacks, and I went in and everybody in this building, including the person interviewing me, was like in basketball shorts, sleeveless shirts. I was like, okay, I look like a damn nerd right now, and no one is going to want to work with me because I'm just like, I don't vibe with them. Like, I'm going to come in and I'm going to look like someone who doesn't fit in this grow. And that's another thing that I found out is that they didn't want me to come in like to any position I've ever had. A lot of people have hired me based on someone they know's recommendation. But even then, and all the way back to my first interview, nobody ever wanted me to come in as an expert. So don't let that get in your head that you don't know enough or you're not good enough or you're not qualified, because what they would rather have, in my experience at least, is someone who just gets along. Like if I hang out with you three people and y'all are all real cool and we can sit around and talk for an hour and like we vibe together well, then we could probably do that for 8 hours a day too at work. And so that's a big thing. Like, are you vibing with these people? Do they seem cool to you? Like, just how's it feel in your gut? And they're sort of doing the same thing to you. But also, they aren't really, they would rather you almost have no knowledge, in my experience, and just be willing to learn. And more importantly, willing to do what they ask you to do. Because if I come in and I say, this is how I water, and this is how I trim, and this is how I defoliate, and they're like, all right, well, we don't do it that way here. We need you to do it like this. And I'm like, well, I've been doing this for 10 years, and this is how I do it, so I insist. They're going to be like, all right, buddy, well, you're fired because we have SOPs, and we do things a certain way, and you're not fitting in. You just need to come here and do what we say.
Yeah, I think it's no different than any other job there. You got to work in the cog.
Yeah. So, showing like just having regular job experience, showing that, you know, you're organized, you're dependable, things like that, those are good. If I knew a list of red flags of companies not to work for, I would make a whole video. I'd make a whole series about that. I guess just look and see, do things look nice? Like, I mean, is there anything that looks questionable? Like, has the trash not been picked up in 2 weeks? Are they having trouble paying the trash pickup fee? All the lights are on? You know, the employees aren't disgruntled. No one whispers in your ear, hey man, don't do it. Don't work here. But I really wish I had better answers for that.
Dude, my number one criteria for me is you ask the owner of the company, do you consume?
Oh, that's a good one.
And when they say no, just leave. Just go. They don't give a shit about the end product. It's all about the P&L at that point. That's just, but I was in a director position in consultation. So they wanted me to come in and bring my expertise. And then I'm like, all right, cool. And then they're like, actually, no, we don't. We do want you to be a cog in the wheel. Just tell us what we're saying is good. What we're doing is already right.
This FTS clip was brought to you by AC Infinity, leaders in garden innovation. Use discount code TheStash15 at checkout to save some money on your order.
From the Stash Podcast.